What's up, Michigan? Welcome to State Champs Michigan's Extra Point. I'm Lorne Plant, joined once again by Scotty Burnstein. And as all of our programming is, this show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. You can play college football. LTU has athletic and academic scholarships right now. You can recruit yourself by going to LTUathletics.com. Hey, each week on the show, Scott Burnstein talks one topic that he is burning on. That will be coming up a little later, but how about a tease?
We're going to talk about some downriver dandies on the gridiron. I love what I'm seeing from teams like Woodhaven, Allen Park, Carlson, and Riverview. We're going to shout them out soon.
All right. We're going to have that to look forward to. And on the companion podcast of Extra Point, we're talking recruiting with 24/7 in State Champs owns Alan True, Castex, Dion Walker, King's Dante Moore, and Celine's CJ Carr, the subject of today's discussion. We'll give you a sampling of that conversation in just a bit. But first, a recap of some of the coverage from Week 5 of the football season. And we start with an Ottawa-Kent Conference showdown as number 3 Rockford at home to take on Hudsonville. Rams off to a great start to the season, undefeated, but in a battle against their foes from Hudsonville. This score from Zach Ahern in the fourth put Rockford up 21-16. Eagles with a chance late on fourth down, but the Rockford D comes through. Rams hang on to win 21-16. Moving on to the Lakes Valley Conference. Pair of unbeatens going at it. South Lyon on the road to take on Lakeland. High-scoring affair in the first half. South Lyon went into the locker room leading 35-21. Lions led by Mr. Do-Everything, Quinn Fracassi. 3 scores in the game. South Lyon goes to 5-0 on the year, 49-35 victory over Lakeland. How about a first-place showdown between Woodhaven and Allen Park? The Jags looking to beat Woodhaven for the first time in 3 tries, up 28-27 late in the fourth, but Woodhaven would come through. 10 ticks left. Senior quarterback Ashton Molman connects with the Syracuse-bound Cornell Perry. Warriors beat AP once again 33-28 to sit alone in first in the Downriver League. Next, to a KLAA East Division tussle. Belleville traveling to Fordson. This game a lot closer than the 69-0 win by Belleville a year ago. Mr. Football candidate Antonio Gates Jr. 2 touchdown receptions, but the Tigers hung on in this one, led by the QB play of the freshman phenom Bryce Underwood. Belleville hangs on 21-19 the final. And finally, to the Boys Bowl, Detroit Catholic Central and Brother Rice. Shamrocks coming in, winners of 6 straight against their rivals. They would dominate. Senior quarterback Declan Bile throwing 2 TDs, including this beaut to fellow senior Owen Semp, who takes it down the sideline. 74-yard tutty as CC goes on to win 30-7, 7th straight victory in the rivalry versus Rice. Scott Burnstein, your thoughts on any of that?
Well, I'm going to first give a couple thoughts on the Catholic Central defense, because I think there are some real diamonds in the rough in that Shamrocks D that aren't getting enough love from the college recruiters. I'm going to start with the 2 junior linebackers. These guys are juggernauts, Braden Corser, Beckler Hauser. They're both averaging like a dozen tackles a game, and neither of these guys are getting a lot of recruiting love. Right. Hauser had 12 tackles in the Boys Bowl. Corser had 14. They were just all over the field, looking outstanding. Going over to what we saw in the LVC, South Lyon is just in cruise control mode. Quinn Fracassi, I call him the question, and the question is, how do you stop this guy? Right. He does everything. He returns kicks, he catches touchdowns, he takes the end arounds or the jet sweeps. Just another guy that will be a steal at the next level. Some okay action, Zach Ahern. We're just going diamonds in the rough across the MHSAA. Zach Ahern is going to be a steal at the Division II level. He looks great under center for Rockford. Bryce Underwood, the phenom for Belleville. Obviously, he's hit the ground running. When rubber hits the road, he's turned into like the second coming of Patrick Mahomes, and we're only going to be seeing that more the next couple of years. You know, some great football. Boys Bowl, I love Catholic Central. After that first week where they got dismantled by Chippewa Valley, they regrouped, got everything in order, and now they're just playing their best football of the season.
This program is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Officials are in need, and I invite you to check out Being an Official. Great part-time pay, stay in the game. Go to MHSAA.com for details. Help wanted, just whistle. I also invite you to listen to the Extra Point Companion audio podcast, where you will get full-length interviews with coaches, newsmakers, and pundits in the high school football scene. This week, we had a chance to talk to recruiting expert Alan True from 24/7 Sports. He's also been a part of the state champ scout team for years. We thought we'd talk the latest in recruiting news from some of the state's biggest stars. Here's some of what we discussed. We've got 3 recruits that Alan will opine on. First, King quarterback Dante Moore. He is arguably the front runner right now for our Mr. Football this season. Through the first 4 weeks, the stats I saw, nearly 1,300 yards, almost 20 TDs. I'm not including this past weekend.
So smooth.
Yeah.
All of his mechanics and fundamentals are just, it's so natural. It's so effortless, so fluid.
Hard to believe he's just a junior. It seems like he's been at the helm for much longer. What say you about Mr. Moore?
Well, first, like you guys said, he's been on the radar for a long time. I mean, I think everybody knew there was something special there. That first Detroit Prep Kickoff Classic, the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic, when he was a freshman and they threw him out there against Detroit Catholic Central. They get off to a bad start. They're down, and he drives them back, leads them back, and almost wins the game. And that was before he had even taken a class in the building, because that game happens in August. So he hadn't even taken a class at King yet, and he's out there fresh off his 8th grade year playing like that against Detroit Catholic Central. So what he's done this year, incredible. The way he's played against Carmel, Mona Shores, Cass Tech, that's a murderer's row schedule right there, and he's done extremely well against it. So recruiting wise, I mean, it's been a long time in the state of Michigan since we've had a quarterback from Detroit who can really choose where he wants to go. He's got Ohio State, he's got Michigan, he's got Notre Dame, he's got Penn State, he's got LSU. Those schools don't always come to the Midwest or to Michigan for quarterbacks. Right now, I think Michigan and Notre Dame have a good shot with him. He's been to both campuses. He was just at Michigan State again. Don't sleep on the Spartans either. And then Penn State's been creeping in. He was out there for their whiteout game. He was out there in the summer. You know, the coaches at King tell me he is very focused on his season and trying to win a state title. I know a lot of guys just say that. I firmly believe him when he says that. I think you'll start hearing more about exactly where he's leaning after the season. But those are some of the schools who right now I think have the best shot once he starts really focusing on this thing a little bit more.
Let's stay in the PSL, Alan, but move over to the defensive side of the ball. Cass Tech's Dion Walker, 6'7", 320 pounds, currently a candidate in our state champs Anvil Award competition. Top 50 D lineman in the nation right now.
Yeah, and with Dylan Tatum coming off the board this week, Dion's the top-ranked guy in the state who's yet to make a decision, so there's going to be a lot of eyes on him. You know, flashed a lot of potential in the other years and was a great camp guy at 6'6" plus, you know, pretty much almost a true 6'7", 330 plus pounds. The things he could do, the way he would win reps at camp, you think he would just run people over, but he's got some finesse and some agility to him. What really I think has separated him this year is he's moved over and played offense as well. He's gone both ways. Yeah. He's shown the conditioning to be able to do that, the grit to be able to play both ways, and they've played a tough schedule as well, starting off with Southfield and Muskegon and then going into that tough game against King, and he's played extremely well. So right now, I think Michigan, most people would consider them the school to beat. He was just up there again for a visit on the 11th. He's gone out to other places before. He's been down south, LSU, Florida, schools like that. So I think they're still hanging around. As long as he doesn't make a decision, they're going to come after him. But right now, I think the Wolverines are in pretty good position with Dion.
All right, let's go back to the signal callers.
Let's talk about the future.
That's right.
The future.
Something's happening at Saline. You know, it's only a matter of time, I think, before the Hornets are putting together state championships. CJ Carr, Lloyd Carr's grandson, is the real deal.
Absolutely. And, you know, you hear that last name. You heard that about him coming into high school already. Hadn't played a ton yet going into this year. Even last year, he came into high school with a good amount of hype. And you wonder with that last name, is this guy going to live up to all that? And he has. He's handled it all really well. He's exactly what everybody thought he would be. So he's handled the pressure. He's been great this season, and that's why colleges are coming after him now. I brought him up specifically because I think people just assume he's going to go to Michigan. Right. I don't think that's the case, and that's not to say that Michigan won't be a factor. They're recruiting him. He's interested. He's going to look at Michigan, but this is not like a close the book, done deal. That's where he's going to be. And in fact, some of the other programs who are considered rivals of Michigan, Notre Dame, recruiting him hard, Michigan State, recruiting him hard. They're not going down without a fight, and he's very open-minded to this. He's looked at Wisconsin. They've offered him. And like I said, I think after this season, with teams not really having a ton of film on him before this, I think things are really going to open up and that recruitment's going to expand a lot. And I think he and his family have done a really good job of making sure that he explores all options.
Once again, you can listen to the entire conversation on the Extra Point Companion podcast, along with our updated ranking segment with our State Champs own Matt Mowry. Head on over to Spreaker.com, search State Champs Sports. The Extra Point Michigan podcast is ready for you to enjoy, along with our other Extra Point football podcast covering Indiana and Ohio. You can also find the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. We also want to thank our good friends at Hungry Howie's for not only sponsoring the Mr. Football and the Anvil Award, but also for sponsoring Extra Point. We also welcome back the physical therapy and sports medicine pros with the DMC. Our Game Changer segments are back this week. You can learn about shin box exercises. Check it out now on our social media channels or our State Champs TV YouTube page. Bernie, what you burning up?
Lots of great football being played in the downriver area of Metro Detroit. Woodhaven is the gold standard. 5-0 out of the box. They got the gritty gunslinger, Ashton Molman. This guy is just dropping dimes every throw. He is dialed in. Just, one of the most underrated quarterbacks that you'll find in the state of Michigan. Threw for over 300 and the game-winning score last week. He is got great field vision. He's got moxie in the pocket. He's got presence. He's making sweet music with Syracuse commit Cornell Perry, the best Division I college prospect in the downriver area. One of the best the downriver area has seen in a while. Definitely the best Woodhaven has seen in decades. And then don't look past Devin Henry, who is a nice running back, gives a nice change of pace from the passing game. Carlson is another team that you should know about. They're playing some really good football right now. Eddie Light at quarterback. Other guys like Tayshawn Williams, Cody Britt, they're a nice 1-2 punch at the running back position. You move over to Allen Park, you got Ethan Gajewski playing some great quarterback. He's making all the throws he needs to make. I love their running back. I call him the human tsunami, Sunario Hamilton. He's the type of guy that can change a game with one touch. He had 3 touchdowns in a game earlier this season. You move over to Riverview, who's in the Huron League, and you got Preston Thompson back at quarterback, and you got Jake Shoup, who's really having a breakout season at running back. So lots of really excellent football being played. Definitely, if you have a chance, go check out my main man, Ashton Molman, and see some of those sugar dimes, baby. He is the downriver's own version of Aaron Rodgers, and you got to go check this kid out.
And the human tsunami.
Yeah, it's great to see Sunario Hamilton back in the lineup for those Jaguars. He was hurt a couple weeks ago. We didn't know for sure what his status was going to be, but he was back in the lineup last week and looking pretty good.
All right. Hey, each and every week you can find State Champs Michigan with coverage of about a baker's dozen of high school football games throughout the state. Here's a look at some of what we're most looking forward to. In the Huron League, Riverview, we just talked about them, coming in unbeaten at 5-0. They host Milan, who is a game back of the Pirates for first place in the league. Ann Arbor Huron, first time in 12 years that they have 4 wins during the regular season already. They're at home to take on Dexter, both teams sitting at 4-1. Something's got to give. The last time Howell was 5-0, 1978. I was but the wee lad back then. The Highlanders will be making the short trip to take on 4-1 Heartland in a KLAA West Division matchup. Number 7, West Bloomfield, winners of 4 straight, hosting number 11 and undefeated Clarkston, both teams 3-0 in the OAA Red. Number 6, Chippewa Valley at home to take on number 15, Sterling Heights Stevenson, who currently sit alone at top of the MAC Red. And in the Catholic League, number 8, Detroit Catholic Central, coming off that win over Brother Rice on Sunday. They'll have to turn around and take on number 4, De La Salle on Friday down at Wayne State. Good stuff this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a spectacular slate of games. You mentioned Ann Arbor, Huron, and Dexter. Brendan Parachek, the tight end for Dexter, might be the best tight end recruit in the state. And then you want to talk about guys that are going to be fast risers this offseason. The Thomas twins are juniors for Huron. They're starting to build some buzz, and I can see next summer, which will be the summer leading into their senior year, they'll start to get some offers. They're both 6'2" and rangy and athletic. They can play in the defensive backfield, and they can also play wide receiver, running back.
Yeah, and again, Wayne State really going to be the place to be to see these
that's going to be the spot. Most likely that will be for bragging rights in the Catholic League Central. It will be for the regular season crown, most likely, and then we'll see what happens in the Prep Bowl. But both those teams are playing some great football right now. They're primed, and it's going to be a clash of the Titans. West Bloomfield-Clarkson, same thing in the OAA Red. You're going to have a battle for most likely what will be the league championship in the Red. Clarkson's got Mike DePillo, who is one of the best drop back passers in the MHSAA. They've got Ethan Clark, one of the best running backs in the whole state, and then West Bloomfield just has a deluge of blue chippers led by Dylan Tatum, one of the best running backs in the whole country. He committed this week, so that should be a great game. Just a lot of outstanding football to be played left in these next 3-4 weeks.
Absolutely. Hey, Game Time Live is back again this weekend with a matchup in the MAC Silver Division as 4-1 Warren Fitzgerald welcomes in 2-3 Madison Heights Madison. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. You can find it on the State Champs Facebook, YouTube, even our State Champs Esports Twitch channel will have it live. Ryan Slocum, Richie Pop on the call. That's it for this week, everybody. For Scott, I'm Lorne. We'll see you. State Champs Extra Point, presented by Lawrence Technological University and Lawrence Tech Athletics. For everything LTU, visit ltu.edu. You can recruit yourself to any of Lawrence Tech's collegiate athletic teams by visiting ltuathletics.com. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. And Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor.